Hello, my tiny tummy family. So my name is Jen Bailey. Thank you for joining me on this Friday's live stream. Today I wanted to go over the cost of VSG surgery. So there was a lot of info to look over, and I'm not in with insurance companies or anything like that. So these are just bits of information that I found online and I wanted to share with you. And then at the end, we'll go over what it cost for me, what we had and all that out of pocket stuff. But there's a lot. I have a couple pages of notes. So if you see me look down, that's why. And yeah, let's get into it. So first, we're going with the range of cost. From what I found, it varies from about $9,500 all the way up to $27,000, and give or take a little. This is standard from all the different sites that I had looked at, so it's definitely up there. The cost of a small car, if you will, like a baby car, who knows? The average cost. So it's for VSG surgery, and these numbers are just strictly for VSG. That's all I was looking into. So average cost for VSG surgery is $16,750. If you have an outpatient surgery, which is what I had. I went into the hospital at 8 and I was out by 4. Outpatient is around $14,590. And if you're inpatient, so you're there overnight and obviously they're, watching over you, and it's just a little bit more of a process. That's $23,990. So, there is a difference, but we've been to the hospital at some point. We know these things are expensive, and all of that stuff can, definitely add up pretty easily. What is generally included in these costs? It also varies by provider, by the facility, or if you're going to a bariatric specialist. But generally, what you're paying for covers the cost of the anesthesia, and anesthesia is a lot. I mean, that person is a lot. They're highly trained, so got it. The hospital facility fee is generally included. The surgeon's fees, guys got to get paid somehow. We're there. So pre-op lab and x-ray fees and follow-up care. So those are just some of the things that I came across that are included in that chunk that we're putting out. Let's go to this. So the coverage and amount that we pay has, again, a few different variables to it. Most major insurance companies cover weight loss surgery. It's just kind of built into it. The weight loss surgeries include the gastric sleeve, so us VSG, laparoscopic gastric bypass, so the Roux-en-Y, all that, and a lap gastric band. I'm sure there's others out there, but these are just kind of some of the main ones that are built into this. So what these things depend on, I have 4 different things on here. I don't have them in the little title bars here, so I'm just gonna lay them out for you. Number 1 is the policy. So it's the policy, not the insurance carrier. Each carrier has things built into their policy. So most of them have this weight loss surgery, but you can't expect every carrier to have it built in. So definitely, if you have insurance, check your policy, see what it covers, what it entails. For example, the procedure could be covered, but anesthesia and an overnight stay may not be covered. So those are some things that you'd have to pull out of your pocket to cover and pay for. Most insurance companies do charge a bit more to include the weight loss surgery into their plans. So, you know, if you have a higher premium, you may have it when you read the policy and what's included in it. I had Kaiser and it was built into it and through Kaiser people. So that worked out for us. Second is your medical needs. So the amount you pay is dependent also on the things that you're going to need specifically. Like, we are all very sorry if you hear that there's gardeners outside. We're all very different in our journeys, and someone may go in that has extra needs, that has, you know, like really, really overweight, or has to have more like someone looking out for them, kind of, you know, you have diabetes, you have issues with your heart or whatever. So the kind of coverage just definitely varies on what you need as a whole. The more complex the surgery, the more costly it will probably be, and that's understandable. Third, location and facility. So the region, state, and city can affect the cost. I didn't really understand this, so I looked further into it, and yeah, there's rural areas, obviously, people that don't have as many facilities, and with that, they're probably going to charge more because, you know, they're out there, you don't have a lot to choose from. So if you're going to a city that has a lot of providers, then the cost may be lower. But there's also cities out there that are, you know, well established that do charge more. For example, like some of the bigger ones, San Francisco, their starting average is $11,340. But, you know, for the majority, it's around $9,500. Denver, $11,400, and Boston is $12,320 average. So, you know, the numbers vary. It's out there. Number 4 would be the in-network and out-of-network coverage. So if you have had insurance and you know you're working with these different things, let's say you like a specific doctor, you're really great with them, but they're out of your network, then obviously that's going to cost a little bit more. We've, you know, encountered that with stuff like with dentists and that. And it's no different with medical facilities. So in network, you're pretty much going to get like a little bit better deal than the out-of-network provider. But those are, sorry, oh my gosh, that's so like distracting to me. So those 4 things can affect the coverage and the amount that you pay. Paying for weight loss surgery. There's a bunch of different ways, and it just depends on your situation. So obviously what would be ideal is insurance. If you have insurance, you checked your policy, you're going to know what they're going to cover, how good of coverage it is, how not so great it may be, and how much you have to pull out of your pocket, whether that's like the deductible, the copay, whatever. You know all of this before you even get to the surgery. You have to make that decision on what you want to do. Cash, you've got the money, you can pay it outright and go about your way. Payment plans, some hospitals have payment plans. You can go that route. I mean, if the more power to you. This is something that we need more of, but you know, there's that. And then financing. So you can finance through the bariatric program or facility that you're working with, or you can finance through a credit card. Personally, I know there's like Care Credit out there. I've had to do that like back in the day with dental stuff. So I researched them, and they do offer the financing for weight loss surgery. But that was just something that had like popped into my head. Yeah, ultimately you just got to do your research. You got to do your due diligence. You know, we didn't get to be that weight overnight. It was a process, and it's going to be a process to help us get the surgery, to remove that, to get it back off, to get us back on track where we need to be in life. So for me, I had Kaiser, and like, we still have Kaiser, but it's not as great. So back then, my husband was working for the city. He was working in Santa Monica, and they had really great coverage. So the total cost for me with Kaiser, like I went through their whole program, talked to them, and they had already known my history because I've been with them since I was like early 20s. I've been running, I've been active. I had to jump through all of their hoops for things, which is natural. It's all part of this process. But when I started researching it, like that was a concern of how much it's gonna be. And because of where he worked at the time and the insurance being really, really great, my copay when I walked in there for the surgery was like $15. And that was it. That's like, I swiped my debit card, paid the $15, had the surgery, and never looked back. Like there was nothing extra added on for my situation. Obviously we have these supplements and these things we have to take for the rest of our life just to stay like nutritionally like in check. But for the surgery itself, it was a $15 copay, and that covered everything. So, that was my situation, and I'm still super, super grateful to have had that. But yeah, it's just, everyone is different. So we may be in a situation where we can't afford it now, but I would hope that you don't lose hope. Just keep doing your best and researching what you can do if you have to build, your credit to get a credit card that will cover it. It's a journey, and I hope that we can all find it within ourselves to just keep going, even though sometimes it feels like it's that much of a struggle. So yeah, those were some of the things that I came across that involved the VSG surgery cost, how to pay, but ultimately, do your research. It is a big undertaking. It's a lot going on with your body, and what you think is a great price over here could be something very different somewhere else. So check into it, do your due diligence. It's a big deal. So let's get to some comments. My husband, dang, that sounds great. Well, thank you, sir. Jeannie, hello. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard from you in a while. I miss you, girl. And hello, Anthony. That is my husband. She's referring to Anthony. Hello. So yeah, that's where we're at with it. So if you're nosy and you want to follow along my journey, Feel free to check me out on Instagram at Jen_Bailey17. Strava is where I have like my workouts. They go from my Garmin to Strava, and you can see how active I am. That one's just Jen Bailey. Search me up. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a half marathon out in Goleta, California. So I'm super excited about that one. I was hoping to get an IV this morning, just so I go in like knowing that I am fully hydrated and ready to go, but it's only 13 miles, so it's not going to be like anything crazy. But I have concerns about the heat and, you know, the weather and that. It'll be by the beach, so hopefully it'll be really beautiful, but yeah, the IV thing, they rescheduled last minute, and so the reschedule doesn't really work because I needed it today. If I need it at best, I'll get it on Monday, but I'm just going to do my work to make sure I'm hydrated. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. She's a big fan. Yeah, so I hope everyone goes into this weekend with awesome positive vibes, and I hope you did get a little nugget of info from this live stream. You know, I enjoy researching things. I enjoy sharing the information and knowledge, things that I come across with you guys. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in there. Comments, all of that good stuff. But follow along the journey. You'll see my Strava tomorrow on how I do. I'm excited. And then we've got like a walk in the later afternoon, and I don't know, some kind of game night. So it's going to be a huge day, but hydration is key. So until next time, sending light, love, and happiness. See you next Friday.